I just want to show you about how I grow salad greens in giant pots because a lot of people could do it, and all you need is a space where you have some protection and it has light. And I'm growing in northern New Mexico, so it's a high elevation and it gets really cold in the winter, but you can still grow salad greens all winter long with some amount of protection. It could be a cold frame outside, it could be in a hoop house like this, or it could be in a different kind of greenhouse. But see my pots? Lots of salad greens in here right now. You just need, soil and pots and water and seeds. I grow them in flats first, the seedlings, and then I let them stay in there growing for 3 or 4 weeks before I transplant them into these pots. And then I transplant them, say, 3 or 4 inches apart from each other when they're still quite small. And then it's a very crowded way to do it, but it depends on me harvesting them regularly. I planted these lettuces in here, say, in September sometime. And then now I've been harvesting them. It's the end of November. I've been harvesting them a few times. I pick the outer leaves. See, I pick the outer leaves of the plants so they have room to grow. Because in a pot like this, you could just grow 4 lettuce plants, and that would be crowded, and then let them go to head, and then just harvest them when they're heads. But if you crowd them and you constantly thin them so they have room, then you get a lot more food out of it. So it definitely depends on constant thinning. And or the lettuce will get shaded and then become like this and not be really what you want to eat anymore. And so you want to keep thinning it so that nobody gets forgotten down here. They all get eaten before they die. And so this is the Afghan tatsoi that I have, and these outer ones can be harvested too. And then I have some Mizuna in here. These parsley have been here all summer long, and there were other things in this pot as well, but they frosted out. They were harvested. I believe I had basil in here, and so there was room to plant all of these when they were tiny amongst the basil, and then the basil came out, and now these are big. So how fast they grow depends on how hot it is often. And what I had last year was I had these greens growing all through the winter, and it's a cold winter, so they grow pretty slow, so that's why I have several pots going, or I also have some in my garden. But if you had a warmer location, then they'll grow faster, and then you would need to keep replanting. I have some growing here in my garden, and amongst things in little patches in my garden. It looks like there's some, probably that's powdery mildew on some of these. And I think the best approach for this is probably just to eat them before it gets too crazy. And now we're in my attached greenhouse, and where it's much warmer in here, and this is partly what heats my home. So the lettuce here, they're going to be much bigger and starting to bolt already. So that's why you can see some of these are elongating and getting towards putting out seeds, like that one. So I hope that maybe you'll think about growing some lettuces in pots, because it could just be in a south-facing window or an east-facing window, or try whatever you have over the winter. And they do need some light, and they do need some protection from really cold winter weather, but it's not hard to make happen.